The music theory you know in your head doesn't really count. It only counts once you have it in your fingers. Are you a piano player who's struggling to play the ideas you hear in your head? Well, you need to take the theory you know and actually get it into your fingers. So what does this look like? Let me show you. Let's say I'm going to assume you're like an intermediate piano player in this video and you know some theory. You know some major scales, some minor scales, and some modes. We want to take some of these scales and chords we know and actually apply them to music in time. So let's take Lydian for example. A lot of piano players, and maybe you're in this boat, understand that the Lydian scale is like a major scale with a raised fourth, right? But the question I have for you is like, can you play that scale from any scale degree? Can you play patterns through that scale? Can you apply that to music? If you can't actually do this in your fingers in real time, the theory doesn't really help. And what I found a lot of piano players do is instead of getting down and dirty and like taking these theory stuff they already understand and applying it directly to the music, they just try to find more theory. It's like, well, I need more voicings, more scales, more modes, more this and that. But take the theory you already know and get it under your fingers. So let's do like a little Lydian dive today. So let's take E flat Lydian. You want to make sure you really understand E flat Lydian, not just so you can like write it on a theory test, but so you can embody it in your playing. First thing let's do is play our scale. So E flat major with a raised fourth, right? In time, easy, right? Maybe do it a couple octaves. Maybe both hands. Just left hand too, right? Those of you who want to do this again and again, I'm able to talk while I'm doing it. I'm like sick and have a runny nose and a foggy brain and I'm able to do this. That's how deeply I know this scale. Once you know the scale, can play it in time confidently, make sure you can do some patterns to the scale. A very simple pattern I like to start with is playing it in thirds. So that would be like going 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6. We could go up forever, right? But I'll stop at 2 octaves and then bring it down. Like 8, 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 5, 3. I messed it up because I started thinking about something else. I'm also blasting through it for the video. You probably want to do it real slow, actually. What about, this is a cool pattern, doing it in fourths. On the Lydian, it's kind of weird because you start with the tritone, but it might sound something like this. And then go down in fourths. We could do fifths, sixths, sevenths, etc. Have you ever played a scale in sevenths? That's just a 2-note pattern. What if we take a 3-note pattern? Probably the simplest one to start would be thirds. Take it down. Maybe we could do just like 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. What about like 1, 3, 5, 6? We could come up with 100 other patterns. I mean, infinite patterns basically, right? So we want to practice this in a way where like We're not just like, oh, I play the scale and I kind of got it, but I screwed it up a couple times. It's like, no, I know the scale. I can play it multiple octaves. I can play it fast. I can play it slow. I can play different patterns through the scale. Once we've got some of that down, then we want to try and improvise through the scale. So let me just demonstrate, and then I'll maybe even break it down. So I'm just doing E flat. Get comfortable with how it sounds, different patterns through the sound. Have some fun. If you're struggling with this part of it, what I would recommend is start with 1 or 2 notes and build it out. So maybe we just do the first 2 scale degrees, 1 and 2. Then once I'm feeling confident, I'm going to add the 7th as well. Let's add the 6th too. Add the 5. Let's add the sharp 11 in here. Now we have one more note to add. All of a sudden, like, I'm starting to get some E flat Lydian vocabulary. So I don't just like know it theoretically, like my fingers really know it. Finally, I would say find a song to apply it to and apply it to the song. I picked E flat for this video because I figured a really great song to apply this to would be what's it called? On Green Dolphin Street. The first A section is an E flat major 7, to a G flat major 7, to an F major 7, to an E major 7, to an E flat major 7. So all these parallel major 7th chords, a great chance we can make each of those chords Lydian. Now obviously we went from just E flat Lydian to like now 4 Lydian scales, but bear with me here. This would be like what you would get after working on in all these keys, but maybe even just focus on the E flat Lydian. 1, 2, 3, and. This is if I did Lydian on every scale. So the point of this video is like, if you're not sure what to practice, take a piece of theory you already know and search for ways to know it deeper. Let's say there's a scale you know. It could be a major scale, a minor scale, or like a mode, Lydian, Mixolydian, Lydian dominant, whatever. And first of all, make sure you can play the scale. Yuck. Second of all, make sure that you can play patterns to the scale. Thirds, fourths, fifths, triads, 7th chords, other patterns, and be able to play them through the scale. Then use that scale and improvise with it in time. Explore the sound, get the sound in your ears and your fingers. Then find music where that scale can be applied to a part of the music and implement it over the music. Thank you so much for watching this video. What music theory and piano questions are you struggling with? Drop them in the comments to let me know, and I'll see you next time.